everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are safe and you are with someone you care about who also cares about you. It feels like a really long time since I did the Sunday musing. I had a very good week off, and then it's straight back into the death threats and the ricin threats. Yay! I don't want to play that up too much in case the people who made those threats are watching this channel, in which case they will be very happy that I've noticed. But yeah, this is the new normal. And also the new normal for today is everything that's been going on in the USA and the knock-on effects that are now being felt in the EV community in North America, but also reverberating around the world. And the topic I want to discuss today, unfortunately, is, do you think that HR1 from the US government will actually impact EV sales globally? Will it impact EV development? I would like to think no, because America is only a tiny portion of the landmass that is this pale blue dot that we live on. But we're also seeing kind of disproportionate effects of other things being sent around the world, and it feels very much, I know that I'm biased because I'm stuck in the US right now, it feels as if this is a bad turn in our history. And I am genuinely worried about the future of EVs, not because I think that EVs will suddenly disappear. I think China is going to continue to dominate the EV market. Europe, we just got some new sales figures in. Things are going great there. But I also think we're going to see a change in EV development. We've seen Honda and Nissan this week push back or even cancel EV plans. There's some rumors that other companies are going to change things and maybe not bring new models to market that they felt they were going to have to if America was on board with EVs as well, that maybe they might be able to survive in other ways if they don't have to do it anywhere but Europe. And because the automotive market is currently fractured, you've got North America in one space, and then you've got Europe in another. And yes, Canada kind of crosses the boundary slightly, in so much as you see cars for sale in Canada that are more appropriate for the European markets, and you also see North American US market cars in Canada. So Canada's a bit of a melting pot in that regard. But I do worry, certainly for North American consumers, we're going to get very little choice. And I feel that automakers are going to start using this as an excuse in other parts of the world. You know, we've seen some of the German automakers kind of make hints that maybe we're not going to carry on making EVs quite as vociferously as we had previously hinted we might. And that worries me too. But there's also kind of an attitude that I worry about. Like it or loathe it, American culture does influence other cultures around the world. TV, literature, songs, culture, particularly. I know I said culture twice. When I went to school, a long time ago now, I've kind of, during my time off, I realised I am getting old. You know, I graduated high school in 1998, right? And in 1998, the concept of going to a school prom or a homecoming or anything like that, that was alien to me. And I would hazard a guess as alien to most other Brits studying in the UK. It was maybe, there was a few pockets where such things took place, either because of tight cultural connections with a local American school, for example, as in parts of Norfolk, or because someone had moved to the UK from the US and had brought those customs with them, and so schools are engaging in them more of a culture, in a more cultural exchange interest than anything else. But now it is common for kids in the UK to have graduations and do all of that stuff. I have people that I went to school with, university with, whose children are now going through, you know, the graduation, the prom, all of that stuff that I never experienced. And I don't feel like I missed out on it. But my point is that if attitudes in the US are pushed downhill towards EVs, not by everybody, you know, EV fans, once you've driven an EV, you tend not to go back. But once that general attitude towards EVs is soured by politics or popular culture, that will then spread. And I think we're starting to see that with other things. Exhibit A is obviously the trans problem, as they like to call it, which is not a problem. My agenda is to just exist, do my gardening, do my job, get on with life, right? As simple as that. But the US and the UK have gone super right wing on that particular issue. And I suspect America will drag other countries, maybe not the UK, but maybe other countries, along with the anti-EV sentiment. I know that political cycles exist and things will go one way or the other, but we have got to a point in the US politically, I think, where things like HR1 are the start of something much bigger, much more insidious, much more scary for a lot of us, whether we're talking about who can get married to whom, who can study where, and what we can drive, what we can do, whether that's generating solar power on the roof of our homes, whether that's driving an EV, whether that's supplying public transit and encouraging people to use public transit. I fear that that's all out of the window now, unless something dramatic happens. So we'll put a pin in that, because maybe something dramatic will happen. But am I overreacting? I know lots of people who watch this live outside of the US and live outside of Canada. I have lots of Canadian friends who are going, we really hope this doesn't go north of the border. I've got family members who have said exactly the same thing. I joked with a family member recently when President Trump went to Canada. I said, can you just keep him? She said no. So, oh well. But I do feel that it's a big impact, and I worry about what that looks like further down the line, especially with all of the other stuff happening, all the other programs, all the other attitudes and programs and incentives that are going away. Nothing to do with clean energy, but to do with environmental justice and all of that. That is also really scary, and I wonder what the future holds there as well. So tell me in the down below if you think that this is going to irreparably damage the EV world in the US and possibly Canada and possibly Mexico, or whether this is just a blip, or whether, you know, America needs to get over itself because it's not really that important, and the rest of the world is doing just fine. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have thoughts. I've shared some of them. I will not share all of them. Let me know in the down below, and I will see you this time next week. Same bat place, same bat channel. Is that the phrase they use? Anyway, if you haven't already checked it out and you're a Ford F-150 Lightning owner, also go and check out the local FCSP that I wrote for Home Assistant. I had lots of help, but I'm very proud of it. It's the first time I've ever written a piece of code that's now published on GitHub that actually works, as opposed to previous attempts that were a bit naff, and I don't really talk about it. But it works, and it's reliable, and it allows you to query the state of your Ford Charge Station Pro if you have one. So go check that out, and keep your eyes peeled because we've got lots of cool stuff coming. Also, just as a side note, in case you missed it, we will not be going to fully charged, or I mean everything electric. Shouldn't dead name a convention. That's really disrespectful. We're not going to everything electric, and that is because financially it was not going to work. Politically it was going to be difficult, and while I've just sent off my Canadian passport actually this week. I hopefully will have a Canadian passport by the time we go to Canada, if we were to go, but then getting back into the US might cause a problem. And while I don't necessarily want to come back here, all of my things are here. And my family, some of my family is here, and many of my friends and my colleagues. I would like to actually return and carry on doing what we're doing here. So, yeah, that's the reason. There's a load of other politics that I'm not at liberty to discuss, and I'm not going to. That would be, what's the word? That would be unprofessional. But suffice to say, unfortunately, we're not going. Hopefully we could go again in the future, but we have something else planned, a road trip down to Southern California for something. We haven't got a date, but you can probably figure out when. Anyway, I've already said goodbye once. I'm going to say goodbye again properly. And this is the equivalent of no you hang up. See you soon. Thanks for joining us today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them in our Discord room, on our Patreon page down below, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon or Blue Sky. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They're part of the massive community of supporters who make this channel possible, helping us through Patreon and YouTube, covering our bills, paying our team, and helping us to remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. We've got options available across a wide range of different price points, starting from $1.50 US a month. A massive welcome to our newest supporters: Jason Bodor, Brian Newton, Mark, Chris London, Shelley, Joshua Hemphill, Andrew Miller II, Eric Miller, Barry 2379, Wayne Rendler, Chad Johnson, L. Randolph Lee, Monica Turner, RB Singh, PG9, MK Duffer, Robin Holston, James Hollyrod, Kristen Rasmussen, BGB The Bun, Stephen Meadows, Simon Cottle, Randolph Lee, Philip Paul, Mia Hartman, Scott Matheson, John Snyder, Abelardo Conessa, Calvin Klein, HB, Triple Steffel, Jim Boyer, Jay, Rastas, Mike, Jason Hellman, Abigail, Lynn Mogren, Julian Pipe, Rochelu, Lam Nog, and Peter Coughlin. To join the list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member for your moment of fame, and you can even gift membership to someone else. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have an old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at. You'll also find links to our swag store, and if you're someone who has to shop on Amazon, please consider using our affiliate link so we get the commission, not Jeff Bezos. So we can continue to focus on making our content even better and reduce burnout, we're being a little freer with our release days, but plan on dropping new content every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday on our main channel, plus something on Sunday over on Transport Evolved Take 2. If you want more, the mighty algorithm that hates us thinks you should be watching this video, but we think this one is one you should check out. Be awesome, be kind, be intentional, and don't forget to resist. Keep evolving!